Տիրանը նոր ասում է Տիրանը ասում է բանը, ես որ ասում եմ նոր եկա, մտածեցի, որ ես իմ հասակին ես եմ Դավիթը, մեկ է ես աղջիկը Սյունեի հետ
Ինչ ես անում Երևան, արի վաղնել ենք տեղ գնում։
Վաղնել ենք գնում։
Լուսի, ես ինչ ոտքս կտրել եմ կապանից ամեն օր ինչ որտեղ է գնում, շատ հետաքրքիր է դառել ձեր կյանքը։
Նոր տարում կարելի է մի օր վերցնել,
Նոր տարուն ես լինելու եմ անպայման։
Մեքենաներս ասեն կարելի է տանել,
հավասար։ 10 օր էլ է կարելի հասնել,
տեսնենք գնանք իշպի անենք իշպի տանենք։
Էմի շուխատ աչքիս։
Արդեն։
Նա կվատանում
Դի Երևան եք,
Բանել ասեմ էլի, քանի բան, տեսեք, բանով մեր ոնց որ դեկտեմբերի 3-ին պրծնում է մեր բանը, դեկտեմբերի 2-ին վերջի պարապմունքն է, էլի, բանով, բայց պալբոմ մեզ մի 2 պարապմունք ավելա, պետք, երեխեք, բայց բերեք մինչև էդ անենք էլի, ասենք 5 շաբթի կամ 3 շաբթին, հենց որ հարմար լինի, ընդ ընթացքում էդ մի 2 պարապմունք անենք, որովհետև ես այսօր որոշեցի պավաբշի պիտի գնայի սկզբին, հետո այսօր որպեսի հաստատի բանանդուր գնալու եմ, այսօր տոմս եմ արել համերգի, դեկտեմբերի 4-ին բան ետ, ինչա այրխիկ են, անչութակահար է,
Գլայդերմանը,
չէ կլոյդորման ինչ եմ հասցնում, չէ, նո, են ջահել տղան,
Սերգի Խաչատրյանը,
նո,
Ինչ էր, ճիշտ է, ես էլ անունը մոռացա։
Երևան
Երևան, պաժաստը գնա, ես դեկտեմբերի 4-ին գնացի
Պեկետես այլ մեկ պուրոն եք
Կարապետյան, մեկս ավել Կարապետյան, ջութակահարա, ռոք, բանա Ես որովհետև հա նայում հա ջղայնանում է, հա Կլայդերմանը, հա չգիտեմ ով, հա ես նայում այդ տոմսարկղ սպիցիալնը չեմ բանանում, պիսային բերում է, ես հա նայում ջղայնանում, որ դեսա դեկտեմբերի 4-ին ասել շա։
Տիրանուշ ջան, ես էստեղ եմ, ես էլ չեմ հասցնում։ Նայում եմ, անցնում։
Դեկտեմբերի 4-ին հետ ես համեր, կարաս գաս, նայ, կարաս միանաս մեզ համեր գաս։
Շատ դժվար հարց է։
Երեխեք, մի 2 պարապմունք բան անենք, էլի, ասենք մի հատ թեկուզ 5 շաբթ, լավ, մյուս շաբաթ 2 շաբթի կպայմանավորվենք, եթե հարմար լինի, մի հատ ասենք մի հատ, էլի, շաբաթվա մեջ, ասենք մի հատ մի շաբաթվա մեջ, մի հատ է հաջորդ շաբաթվա մեջ,
շաբաթ օրը չի կարա անել։
Կարող, в принципе։
Բերեք երկու շաբաթ օր անել։
Չէ, Լիան, եկող շաբաթ օր ես չեմ կարալու։
Սեդան չի կարա, լավ, հələ բերեք նայենք, էլի, տեսնենք ոնց են։
Նայեք ձեզ, եթե մենակ ինչ չի հարմար, խնդիր չկա։
Չէ, նայ, մենք վերջացնում ենք մեր կալենդարով դեկտեմբերի 2-ին վերջի պարապմունքը, բայց պալուբոմը մեզ մի 2 պարապմունք ավել պետք է, որպեսզի հասցնենք 2-3 էլի։ Վայ, երեխեք, մեկը խնդրում եմ էլի, բաները լրացրեք, դրել եմ, 3 հոգի լրացրել, երեխեք ջան, հա, բանը, չէ, այսօր էլի, հմի չէ, բայց այս իրիկունը արեք էլի, երեխեք ջան, առավոտին զուղարկեց ես դրել էի, հետո այսօր առավոտ հիշացրեց երեխեք ջան, խնդրում եմ էլի, արեք այսօր առավոտ ուղարկել էր, որ սյան 3 հոգի արել, ասյան պայման կասեմ, լավա հիշեցի ասեմ, երեխեք ջան, let's read the title of this lesson, page 49. What is risky business? God's business, yes. So, let's read and see what Eleanor Roosevelt says. Do one thing every day scares you. What is scare? որը մի բան արա,
Ինչը
որ քեզ
վախեցնում է քեզ։
Ոնց կհաղթարես գովախը։
Yes, there is another saying about bravery. What is bravery?
Խիզախություն։
So they say bravery is not so much about not having fear, but it is about overcoming fear.
Հաղթահարել։
Հաղթահարել. I think bravery is not when you don't have fear, but fear of bravery is not the absence of fear, but bravery is overcoming fear. Այսինքն խիզախությունը ոչ թե վախի բացակայությունն է, այլ վախը հաղթահարելն է։
Yes, why practicing on
In English.
I read that the bravery is not when you have no afraid
Fear.
of a fear, but bravery is when you go ahead even when you afraid.
When you are afraid, yes. When you overcome your fear and you go ahead. Yes. Okay. Now we are going to listen to 4 people. Yeah. And before listening to those people who speak about, by the way, to take the risk. To take the risk means riskavать. Yeah? Okay. So they will speak about it. Now we'll listen to them speaking about their risky business, when they take risks, and we'll do the exercise. But before, I want you to tell me if you consider yourself a risk taker. Are you a risk taker?
Not at all. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yelena says it depends.
I risk what?
I'm a risk taker.
I'm a risk taker.
Yelena says that she is a risk taker. Can you bring one example? Okay. Okay. Lan, you.
Sometimes.
Yes, you are.
No, you don't
You
say
are a
so.
risk taker.
Yes.
Example. I want to talk about example.
So,
It was example to play in Goris for people in Goris.
your most risky endeavor is playing the piano in front of the audience in Goris. Come on. She says that her most risky endeavor is when she played the piano in Goris, in front of Goris audience.
Why?
Are you afraid that they will
What they did?
this,
I mean that there are some absent-minded, when
absent or narrow?
narrow-minded
Uh-huh.
about classic musical.
So they won't
But
understand.
2 years ago, I played for them, and I saw many changes.
Yes, great. Yes. Lily.
Also sometimes, but I can say hardly ever.
Yes. What about you? Sue?
Yes,
So you are a risk taker.
yes,
You can.
I'm a risk taker.
In summer.
In summer,
Yes.
me and Jacob
Uh-huh.
and Aremo,
Uh-huh.
we are
We went
we went fly,
Zip line. We did zip line flying, let's say.
we did zip line flying,
Flying?
and flying.
No, zip line flying.
Flying,
Yes. Was it scary?
Scary? No.
No, it wasn't scary.
No.
No.
I don't.
I wasn't afraid.
I wasn't
scared. Yeah.
Emilia dobrze pokonuje.
Yes.
Emilia inna lecie drony,
He's a
growe.
professional zipline
Zip line flyer.
flyer.
Zip liner.
She's a professional zipline flyer.
İranlılar bulma. Kendron bir bırak. İnyor orada boçibani benim. Bir kahana diyor fotoğrafı ya. Sonra.
What about you, Tigran? And Tigran also gets stuck because she's too light.
I have flight. All the flights in Armenia.
Are you a risk taker, Tigran?
Yes, I'm a risk taker, but there is no
No, what?
oynamışım kalsın.
Check what causes. I can't think of an example of
I
it.
can tell
Yeah.
about my experience.
Please tell us
Last
about your
week, I've scared to introduce my work, Excel forms for our work. My ex-boss, not boss, but ղեկավար, խմբի ղեկավար,
team leader.
Team leader.
team leader. She didn't want to tell our manager about my work. I don't know why. And I did this.
I did.
I decided to introduce myself to him.
Yeah.
It was scared because I didn't know
Yeah.
how he Antonel.
How we will accept this? How we will
Accept,
take
yes.
it?
But I did it, and I get promoted.
You got promoted. Yes, great. Yeah,
Now I'm a senior accountant.
yes, you see, it's great. And I myself, if I speak about taking the risk, I think that I consider taking the risk only when you risk your life or when you risk others' life. The rest I can't kind of think risky, for example, yeah? Because, for example, when you should never be afraid of trying something new, or for example, in your case, trying to present your work to your boss, because, well, in this case, I always say this, you already have no. You already have no. So, but you can try it and it may be yes. You don't lose anything in this case.
Yes.
Yeah, you already have this no. And if you try, you may get
No.
yes. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's go through these words, phrases.
I was told by my father how much will you dream if you have no phones.
Sorry, the bigger you dream,
How much change can
the bigger you dream, how big will you dream? If you were not afraid, how would you dream if you were not afraid of falling? Yeah. And you always should dream big. And as the bigger your target, the
Mm.
less difficult it is not to get into it. Հա Աշկան մեծացել է, այդքան դժվար է, կամ թե դուք եք կամախոցը։
Mhm.
Okay, now let's read these things and score them 1-5. 1 is not risky at all, 5 is very risky. And just tell me your opinion. Давай.
Is having a surgery.
Having cosmetic surgery and say if it is risky,
What is
a little bit risky surgery.
Risky.
It's risky. It's risky. Having cosmetic surgery is risky. Does everybody think so?
Yes.
Free.
I also think so.
what?
Yes.
Make it think
Oscar say very risky.
Having cosmetic surgery.
Very risky.
Very risky. Then the next one. It's very risky.
Riding a bike in your city.
Riding bike in your city. Who? Not
In
risky.
our city is very risky.
Seda says that in our city is very
Yes.
risky. You mean Kapan said?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
Because the drivers are very careless. Not the bikers, but the drivers are
And
very
we don't
Yes.
have
Uh-huh.
anywhere
We
here
don't have
about
bike lines.
bike lines.
We have
in-
only, but
Ah,
only
in
Charles Street,
any
there is some-
streets,
Yes.
we
But you
have.
can be very careful. Так, երեխեք ջան, давайте հետո թողեք. Okay. That's it. Давайте дальше. Smoking. Do you think smoking is risky?
Yes.
Less
Three.
Middle, little.
less risking than having cosmetic surgery, I think.
It's less risky. I would say that this is kind of long-term risk compared to cosmetic surgery. Because if you have cosmetic surgery, if something goes wrong, you will have the immediate bad result. But
Jackson in the mountain.
yes, but if you smoke, yes, this is kind of long-term risk.
Mhm.
You don't have the immediate impact, but so of course it is, I think, very risky. Yeah. Дальше,
Eating street food when you're traveling. Two.
When you're hungry, it's not risky.
It's not risky, yeah, but still street food is somewhat, so it depends what street food
Depends
it is.
what you eat.
Yes, it depends what you eat. For example, so I won't eat anything that is made of meat in the street, for example. Yeah? Or I
can
don't
eat
Or
know.
marshmallows.
One apple or.
Yeah. Yeah. I can tell you was like when I go to Yerevan and the car stops and so like you want to, so you need to eat something. And so once I look like I don't like anything, like there are some salads and they like seem like rather old. There are some pies, meat or some pies that, well, and then I decided to buy chips.
Me too. I don't eat anything.
Again, this, of course, it is not healthy, but this is again long term, yeah. Like you won't get the result immediately, but if you have some bad products, so you will get them just at that moment. Yes, so like in chips, yes.
Buying a used car.
Buying a used car.
Just car move.
օգտագործած մեքենա.
Not risky. One.
Yeah, so that is you put your money at risk,
My
but still
car buying
is
used.
used. That's yes gնել եմ մեքենաս.
I bought
I bought my car.
I bought a used
Yeah,
car.
I bought a
car.
used
I bought a used car. Okay.
also.
Me
Me
too.
too. Or so.
Do I?
Am I?
Bought. Did.
Did I?
Both said. So did I.
Did I? Ha.
Both, okay.
Давай, Lid.
Hiking in the mountains.
Hiking in the mountains.
When you are
It depends on
When you are Liana, it's not risky.
when you are hiking with
We
professional
went,
gear, it's not
Guys, it's not risky.
No,
So,
3.
the expert says it's not risky. It depends.
No,
Online
not
dating.
so.
Not so risky. Aha, o veš
Where?
kako, давай, Len, karta je to se
online dating.
Online
It's
dating.
risky.
Huh?
It's risky.
It can be risky.
But what can he or she
Not in our
do?
country, but
But what he or she can do, let's say. Suppose you date with somebody. Suppose you see somebody
it's
somewhere.
blind dating.
Yeah, but so like so
But
what
yeah,
can he or she do?
Навязчивый
I have an example.
It is very
Yes. If you meet in a restaurant, it's not risky.
Our relative start to text and
Blind
speak,
dating. Huh? When
like
go
online
begin.
dating with Georgian man, and after maybe months she decided to go Georgia, and they have a wedding day, and after that they have a baby. But these days for her is really
Hell. Ah, the dating, why?
dating it had
After.
because online nu iначе česká online škola
Yeah, but still, but after that she saw him. She didn't marry him just exactly after like dating with him. I mean, like when you online, you have online dating, then you can have real dating.
Fall in love.
Okay. And the last one, sit down.
Telling a lie on your resume.
Very risky.
It's not
No.
risky. You're a professional liar.
It's not risky. Huh? Now, there will be, let's see, there will be 4 people speaking. Holly, Natalie, Tom, and Jenny.
What about they will be
First, let's see, we will see what they will be speaking about. Job, sport, relationship, or money, the first thing. Then we are to choose who spoke about these things. But before listening, I want to read this. And please, Dava, Hermin, read the first one.
This thinks this.
Who thinks? I think I'm telling you. Who
Who
thinks?
thinks his or her attitude about risk hasn't changed at all throughout his her life.
Հասկացանք. Who thinks her attitude towards risk, attitude վերաբերմունքը դեպի risk-ի հանդեպ hasn't changed throughout her life. Okay, we understand this. Yellen, the next.
That the risk varies depending on the price.
That the risk varies. Տարբերվում է, այլ risk depending on the price. Կախված գնից. Okay. You, Tigran.
had to make a life-changing decision.
Had to make a life-changing decision. Ստիպված է եղել life-changing decision.
Շրջադարձում։
Переломное решение, այսինքն կյանքը փոխող որոշում ստիպված է եղել կայացնել։ Soon,
Who is surprised about how positive he she felt after doing a risky activity?
ով է զարմացել, որ կարել է risky activity։
who thinks most people take this kind of risk these days? Ով է մտածում, որ շատ մարդիկ take
Այս
this kind of
էս-
risk.
Այս տիպի
Այս տիպի
ռիսկի դիմում են։
Who decided not to go right into working in an office? Ով է որոշել չգնալ
Օֆիսում աշխատել անմիջապես։ Հա? Okay.
Who wonders whether things might have been different if she hadn't taken the risk? Ով մտածում է, որ եթե կյանքը այլ կլիներ, եթե ռիսկ չաներ։
Who thinks the risk was worth taking because she learned some useful things for the future. Riskը
Worth taking արժեր
հա,
ռիսկին դիմել,
արժեր,
որովհետև
որովհետև կարևոր բաներ է սովորական
Okay.
տակար։
worth doing
Ապագայի
something.
համար։
Worth doing something. This film is worth watching. Այս ֆիլմը արժե դիտել. This book is worth reading.
Worth something.
Worth արժե ստոյիշի ինքնատական է։ To be worth doing արժի անել, էլի։ This film is worth watching. This museum is worth visiting. This book is worth reading. Давайте.
4.8. 1. Holly.
Are you a risk taker?
Generally, definitely not. And I think that started early in life when I was little. I hated getting hurt, so I thought if I don't take any risks, I won't get hurt.
I hated getting hurt.
Ցավացնել, ցավ։
But this can be both physically and not physically.
Emotionally.
Emotionally, yes.
And so I think even to this day, I'm not really a risk taker.
Can you give me an example of a risk you have taken?
Well, as I said, I don't usually take risks. For example, I hate flying. I only fly if there's no alternative, and I
I only fly when there's
Եթե
no
ալտերնատիվ չի։
carefully because I don't want to put myself or my family in any danger. But once, someone persuaded me to try scuba diving.
scuba diving. Որնա scuba diving. Բանով սակվալանգը. Diving-ը նրան է, իսկ scuba diving and սակվալանգը։ Somebody persuaded me to try scuba diving.
I was very worried in the beginning until I knew what I was doing. My mom was absolutely horrified that I was going to try it, so maybe it's a personality thing. In my family, my children are the same way. But anyway, in the end, I was pretty happy I tried scuba diving. It's one of the best things I've ever done. That's so interesting, isn't it? So even for me, I can see that sometimes taking a risk has a positive outcome.
4,
Okay.
number 4.
Number 4,
Is surprised
about how positive he or she felt. It is right. But one more thing. One more.
One more.
It's not, I think an X.
She's not a risk taker, but
that the risk varies depending on the
no.
Sport.
It is sport, yes. And so we have chosen number 4 and one more.
Her attitude about Rick hasn't changed at all throughout her life. First,
Yes. She thinks that her attitude towards risk
about-
hasn't changed throughout her life. She said, I was afraid to take a risk when I was young and now as well. So, yes?
it's go
Okay,
throughout
chicken.
her life.
Yes, good. Now, let's go on.
2. Natalie.
Are you a risk taker?
I'd say that on the whole, that I am, yes.
Can you give me an example of a risk you've taken?
So, understanding, but Holly is not a risk taker.
Well, something I do a lot is buy things on eBay. And there, you're buying something, you you've never seen. You're relying on what the seller says about it, but you're going to calculate the risk based on their description and how much you're paying. So if it only costs $10, it's not a great risk. However, if it's an expensive item, you might lose some money. But I guess that's something that most people take a risk on now.
Okay, so what about Natalie? Is she a risk taker or
The
not?
risk very
Number
depending-
2.
On the
Very
price, one more, and use the money, yes.
Money.
One more.
Make a go.
Five, number five.
Number
Think
six.
most people take this kind of risk.
Risk these days.
Mhm.
Yes, things that the risk varies depending on the price. So if you buy something at $5, so this is not much risk. But for example, if you buy something which costs like I don't know, $1,000, so just like already kind of.
Araçine Jenny.
Yes.
Holy.
Yes.
Holy.
Holiness, genital
Allah.
holiness. Okay, and so is she a risk taker? Should we put a cross or a tick, or should we put a tick or a cross? Or what does she say when she tick?
She's
What does she answer? She
not-
says
not-
She says it.
She's a risk
It-
taker.
No,
Where
she says
is?
it depends.
Depends.
She says it.
I am. For the tall, I am.
But she says it depends. She says it depends.
For the tall, I am. Not say.
She says it depends.
I was very worried in the beginning until I'm happy I tried scuba diving.
Are you a risk taker?
I'd say that on the whole, that I am,
Ah.
yes.
Can you give me an example of a risk you've taken?
Okay, sorry, yes.
Well,
I
something-
like
I've
this,
done
yes.
some things that
Yeah,
were
she's a
physically
risk taker.
dangerous, but when it comes to
You're relying on what the seller says about it, but you're going to calculate the risk based on their description and how much you're paying. So if it only costs $10, it's not a great risk. However, if it's an expensive item, you might lose some money. But I guess that's something that most people take a risk on now. 3, Tom.
Are you a risk taker?
I am in some ways. I mean, I've done some things
I
that
am
were
in
physically
some ways.
dangerous.
Some ways.
Some ways.
Going to calculate the risk based on their description and how much you're paying. So if it only costs $10, it's not a great risk. However, if it's an expensive item, you might lose some money. But I guess that's something that most people take a risk on now. 3, Tom.
Are you a risk taker?
I am in some ways. I mean, I've done some things that were physically dangerous, but when it comes to things like money, then I think I'm much more conservative.
That's something
It's
that
about the job.
involves physical risk, but when it comes to money, I'm conservative.
İran konu
He's conservative.
Can you give me an example of a risk you've taken?
Well, when I finished college, my mom and dad just wanted me to apply for a normal kind of job, like working for a company. But I decided that I wanted a little more fun while I was that age. So I decided to spend some time working as a restaurant manager, and I worked at lots of different food and drinks festivals all over the world. I knew it would affect my resume because employers are always asking you questions about why you chose to do that, how was that useful to you, and just saying it seemed like a fun idea isn't a very good answer. After 2 or 3 years, I realized that it was going to be pretty hard for me to keep on doing the job past the age of about 30. But now I'm glad I did it. And actually, maybe it gave me what they call soft skills, like being flexible and dealing with people, which are really useful in my job now. I work in sales in a computer software company. So, yeah, I think the risk was worth it in the end.
It's
Mhm.
6
Four.
and 8.
Genie.
Sorry,
6
it is 6.
decided not to go into
An office.
working in an office and
And?
thinks the risk was worth taking because he learned some
Mhm.
useful things
Things,
for
yes.
future.
And he spoke about
A job.
job. Is he a risk taker?
Some way.
In some
In
ways.
some way. So we put a tick and we put a cross. Yeah? Well, the last one.
Are you a risk taker?
Not really. No, I don't think I am. Though once I took a really big risk.
What was it?
When I graduated from college, I went right into a really well-paid job. And after about 2 years, I was doing really well and enjoying it a lot. And
Mhm.
then, through some friends, I met this guy, Marco, and we fell in love immediately. I know people think love at first sight doesn't really happen, but it did. Anyway, is a scientist,
He was, it was one. He's a
He's a
scientist.
scientist.
a marine biologist. And after we'd been going out for maybe 2 months or so,
We were going out almost 2 months.
he was offered a job working in Australia.
He was offered a job working in
And he
Australia.
said, come with me. I did think about it for a little bit, but not much. And I left my well-paid job to follow a man I'd known less than 3 months
And I left my paid job
3 months.
to
After
follow the man
3
whom I know only 3 months.
the other side of the world. My parents were horrified. I was horrified myself, actually. But I married him and we are still together. So it was definitely worth it. But
It was definitely worth it.
on the other hand, I haven't really had a career as such, and if I hadn't gone with him then, maybe I would have had a different kind of life. Who knows?
Who knows? Okay, well, she says she's not a risk taker, yeah? Okay,
Not really.
what does she speak about?
The relationship.
Had
Relationship.
to take a life-changing decision
And
and wonders
Wonders
whether
whether-
things might have been different.
yes,
She hadn't taken the risk.
okay. Now, yes, now let's go on. Let's speak a little. We have here those circles where some kinds of risks are written concerning appearance, food, travel, etc., etc. Now I want you to interview each other. So, for example, who begins? Let's begin with Seda. Seda will read. Hermine will answer, and we will let the rest to say if they have ever taken such a risk. Huh? Okay, so Seda, so let's begin with appearance. What is appearance?
Ardaki.
Yes. Okay, давай, Seda, begin.
Hermine, have you ever done something dramatically different to your hair? For example, had a very different hairstyle or hair color? How did you feel immediately afterwards?
Yes, once I decided to cut my hair very short and cut.
And you did it.
And I
What
did
kazak
it.
mazes kapitreltal? I decided to have my
have
hair cut. To
Oh.
have alental, to have my hair cut very short.
To have
So
cut my hair and
how did you feel afterwards?
I'm feeling very happy and life changing.
So it changed your
It
life.
changed my life.
Okay, what about the others?
Yes.
Have you ever done something?
I had
dramatic?
different different color and hairstyle. I had red, purple color of my hair.
And how did you feel?
Very happy.
I also once decided that I want to change color in my
hair.
color, and I
Blonde.
yes, and
I went blonde.
I went
or I
blonde.
dyed my hair. Dyed.